Excuse me. Your curtain. Please allow me to help.
Help? From you?
I didn't mean to offend. I just thought you should know that
That I should know what? That some privileged white guy thinks his opinion matters? Get over your entitlement. I'm not some damsel in distress waiting for you to ride in on your...
This is no ordinary apple, my dear. It's a magic wishing apple.
A wishing apple? You offer it to me freely. In place of the patriarchy, you would have a queen! Not white, but diverse, inclusive, and equitable! I will become the leader I know I can be! All shall love me and despair!
Oh, what has she done to you? Fear not. First love's kiss can break any curse.
I just want to tell you guys about a little incredible movie that just came out, Snow White. Wow. I just got to tell you, best movie I've seen in years, and there have been some really good films lately. Madam Web, Rebel Moon Part 1, that movie, that transgender one with the Mexican drug lord. But Snow White blows them all away. Chat, this movie has everything. Horrifying, CGI, little people, check. A feminist princess who don't need no man, double check. Diddy dance party at the end. Double Diddy check. All this to say, go see Snow White right now. The new one. Not that old stupid one where the princess gets saved by some good, upstanding guy.
Remaking the movie, they just got rid of the dwarfs. Okay,
but what do they call them?
Why would they get rid of the dwarves, though?
Magical creatures.
But they have one token dwarf amongst these magical creatures. You actually just went backwards. You actually just erased the dwarfism side of it, the disability, like we're a disability group, you just erase that whole image. The argument should have been from Peter Dinklage, there's power of being on TV, there's power of television, and to put 7 people with dwarfism on camera in a major Disney movie, there's still power there. If the story is offensive, change the story, don't change the character.
Rachel Zegler was once Hollywood's next big thing, a fresh face with immense talent, set to lead Disney's highly anticipated live-action remake of Snow White. It seemed like the perfect fairy tale for her career, but what was supposed to be a shining moment soon became the beginning of one of the most public and controversial downfalls the entertainment industry has seen in years. From the backlash surrounding her comments on the original Snow White film to the shocking cultural failure of her blockbuster debut, Zegler's rise and fall has captured the attention of fans and critics alike. How did this rising star go from being Disney's golden child to a punchline on The Simpsons? The answer lies in the stunning unraveling of a Hollywood career and the public's harsh judgment of an actress who didn't just play a princess. She found herself at the center of an entire media storm. Rachel Zegler burst onto the Hollywood scene with her breakout performance in West Side Story, earning rave reviews for her raw talent and undeniable star power. She was quickly crowned as the next big thing, with Disney tapping her to play the lead in the live-action remake of Snow White. The role seemed tailor-made for her, youthful, talented, and ready to take on an iconic character in one of Disney's most beloved stories. But as soon as the project was announced, things took a turn. Zegler's comments about the original 1937 film sparked a massive backlash. In one interview, she called out the prince for literally stalking Snow White, declaring the story outdated and problematic. While some praised her boldness, many fans felt she was undermining a cherished classic, and suddenly, the excitement surrounding her casting turned into a full-scale controversy. As soon as Rachel Zegler's comments about Snow White went viral, the backlash was swift and intense. Fans who had long cherished the 1937 animated classic felt personally attacked by her remarks. What was meant to be a modern take on the beloved fairy tale quickly became a lightning rod for controversy. Zegler, rather than embracing the legacy of the character, seemed more interested in dismantling it. Her critique of the prince's role, describing him as a stalker, was seen by many as an unnecessary attack on a story that had shaped generations. Her words didn't just upset fans of the original Snow White, they ignited a cultural debate over feminism perfectionism, traditional storytelling, and Disney's evolving role in modern narratives. Disney, caught in the middle, remained mostly silent, only fueling the fire. The more Zegler defended her stance, the deeper the rift between her and the film's audience became. When Snow White finally arrived in theaters, it was clear that the film was a far cry from the classic that had captured hearts for decades. Key elements, like the iconic dwarfs and the classic prince, were notably absent. In their place was a heavily reworked, politically charged narrative that left longtime fans confused. The movie's attempt to modernize the story felt more like a departure than a reimagining, and the changes weren't well received. What was meant to be a fresh take turned into an identity crisis for the film, with its core audience unsure of what they had just watched. Despite Disney's heavy marketing push, the movie struggled at the box office, underperforming drastically compared to other live-action remakes. Critics and audiences alike voiced their disappointment, with many asking if Snow White was even Snow White anymore. The film's failure became the final blow in the unraveling of Rachel Zegler's Hollywood image. Just when things couldn't seem worse for Rachel Zegler, The Simpsons decided to step in. The iconic animated series, known for its sharp satire, aired an episode titled Snow Woke, which parodied Zegler's controversial take on Snow White. The episode didn't hold back. It skewered her portrayal of the character and her outspoken views on the original film. The parody depicted Zegler's character rewriting classic fairy tale lore, banning princes, and delivering long-winded speeches to an increasingly confused audience. It was a biting commentary on her public persona, painting her as out of touch and self-important. The brutal satire was the latest in a string of humiliations for Zegler, as the show's timing couldn't have been worse. At a time when her career was already in freefall, being roasted by The Simpsons cemented her status as Hollywood's latest joke, a public figure struggling to escape a growing tide of ridicule. Once hailed as Hollywood's next breakout star, Rachel Zegler's career quickly spiraled into a public relations nightmare. Studio executives, who had once been eager to work with her, began distancing themselves as the controversy surrounding Snow White grew. Casting calls that once had Zegler's name at the top were suddenly going in different directions. Projects she was rumored to be involved in were mysteriously delayed or quietly recast, leaving her once promising future in doubt. The intense media scrutiny and growing backlash took a toll on her public image. Despite Zegler's attempts to defend her position, her words only fueled the flames of criticism. Hollywood, a place where image is everything, had begun to turn its back on her. Once seen as a fresh face of the industry, she was now a cautionary tale of how quickly fame can turn to infamy. As Rachel Zegler's career crumbled, her personal life wasn't immune to the pressure. After years of being in a high-profile relationship with West Side Story co-star Josh Andres Rivera, their bond was put to the ultimate test. The relentless media storm surrounding Snow White and its disastrous reception took a toll on their relationship, with friends close to the pair suggesting that the constant public scrutiny contributed to their split. Zegler, already grappling with a career on the rocks, now had to face the emotional strain of a breakup. The fallout from her public image and the constant bombardment of online attacks seemed to have put an insurmountable strain on both her professional and personal life. What started as a fairy tale romance in Hollywood became just another headline, feeding the narrative of a star unraveling under the weight of public pressure. Snow White was supposed to be a crowning achievement for Disney and Rachel Zegler. However, it ended up as a cultural disaster. Despite the star power of Zegler and the massive marketing push from Disney, the film's reception was underwhelming. Fans who had hoped for a fresh take on the classic story found themselves alienated by the drastic changes, like the removal of key characters and the shift in tone. The film's politically reworked narrative, which had been touted as progressive, instead left audiences feeling confused and disappointed. On IMDb, the movie's score plummeted to a shocking 1.6, one of the lowest ratings for any Disney production. Instead of becoming a box office hit, Snow White became meme material, ridiculed online by fans and critics alike. What was meant to be a modernized version of a beloved classic had turned into a cautionary tale, symbolizing a massive failure both commercially and culturally. As if things couldn't get worse for Rachel Zegler, the scandal took an even stranger turn when a fake OnlyFans account featuring her AI-generated likeness surfaced online. The account, though entirely fabricated, went viral within hours, with thousands of people following it and sharing images of what they believed to be Zegler's profile. The bizarre incident blurred the lines between scandal and satire, with many seeing seeing it as just another reflection of her crumbling public image. While Zegler had absolutely no involvement in the fake account, the fact that so many believed it to be real spoke volumes about how far her reputation had fallen. At this point, her public persona had become so fractured that the idea of her being linked to such a platform didn't seem outlandish. It seemed almost plausible. This bizarre turn of events only added fuel to the fire of her already tarnished career. After the chaos surrounding Snow White and the fake OnlyFans incident, Rachel Zegler's career now hangs in the balance. Hollywood is a place where image can make or break you, and Zegler's public perception has been shattered. Once viewed as a rising star with limitless potential, she now faces an uphill battle to reclaim her place in the industry. Despite the possibility of redemption arcs, where Hollywood loves a good comeback story, Zegler's path to recovery will be steep. Her next move will have to be flawless, as the public is watching closely to see if she can rebuild her image. But the damage done is not easily undone. With major projects passing her by and her public persona in tatters, Zegler will need to work harder than ever to prove she can rise from the ashes of her fall from grace. The road to redemption in Hollywood is long, and it's uncertain whether she can walk it. Rachel Zegler's journey from Hollywood's golden girl to a cautionary tale is a stark reminder of how quickly fame can shift. What began as a dream role in Snow White has now become a saga of public backlash, career missteps, and an image that seems impossible to repair. Her story highlights the fine line between empowerment and overreach, and how a single misstep can send a career spiraling. While redemption is always possible in Hollywood, Zegler's path to recovery seems fraught with challenges. Whether she can reestablish herself as a respected figure in the industry or remain a symbol of what can go wrong when public perception turns against you is yet to be seen. One thing is clear, in the world of entertainment, image is everything, and Zegler's once promising future now rests on her ability to rebuild and redefine her narrative in an unforgiving industry.